morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Kelly.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Whoa, almost 90. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. As you can see, I am not dressed for the greenhouse. No, I am dressed for the weather we are dealing with outside. Right now, it is in the teens. The wind is blowing and it is cold. My first thing that I wanted to do when I made it to the farm today was head into the germination greenhouse, make sure everything was okay. Turns out Dad was in here, so I don't have much to worry about. And as you can see, just by looking at the plants, and by the temperature on the thermometer, yeah, we are good to go. Now you understand why we gotta get in here so early and take the plastic off the top of the seeds that we are germinating because they be cooking. It's hot in here. I'd love to stay and chit chat, Dad, but I gotta go down and set up the farm market. Plus I'm sweating already.
I don't understand why you're dressed like that.
He doesn't understand why I'm dressed like that. The wind's blowing like crazy. The puddle's frozen. Come on. It's not just warm in the greenhouse, Dad. It's cold outside. It looks like Matthew has got a jump start on setting everything up this morning. I brought Callie with me. When we got down here, we immediately went into the farm market with her because it's too cold to have her outside today. Although, because I wanted to run up and check on the germination greenhouse, I'm pretty sure she's got Matthew busy. And yep, she does. What are you doing, Callie?
No, I'm playing.
Oh, you're playing, okay.
I'm playing more.
There you go. What do you say?
Thank you.
You wanna know what I wanna know? Why is it so cold today?
Yeah.
What's going on here? It's spring.
Owen's been born. Winter is here. Did I have something I shouldn't have? Now what I did.
We got the farm market now set up, so we are ready to open. We got a few minutes till it is opening, so we're gonna do some more things around here in the farm market and then move on to another job. All finished in the farm market for now. We are gonna make our way down into the greenhouse first before we head down to take care of animals. I just wanna see how everything looks and see what the temperature is in here. This one doesn't stay as warm as the germination greenhouse, but we still got plants in here. It's gotta be plenty warm. Squeeze it here, okay. There we go. It looks like it's about 60 degrees in this greenhouse, which is not a problem at all. It feels really nice in here. A lot of times when people think about plants, they think about watering every day. Well, guess what? Sometimes that's not the best thing to do. That could lead to disease in certain situations. And with the type of trays and the type of tables we have in here, sometimes we don't have to water every day. And since the weather has been conducive to not watering, yeah, this is the first time they're getting a little drink in about a week. And Matthew's not sitting and holding it onto these plants. He's only quickly going over the top. And I think that's probably wise. I think it's gonna be sunny the rest of the day, but it's gonna be cloudy through the rest of the week again. So it's just something we're dealing with. Okay, calm down. Okay, don't hurt me. Back up. Back up.
Behind the board here.
You almost forget how big these guys are until you get working around them again. I'm just glad they're friendly. That's what's nice about raising all these cattle up from when they were calves. It just makes everybody a lot calmer. What's up? Huh? Now, over the years that we've been making videos, we've talked a lot about our cattle operation that we have here on the farm. However, we're always getting new viewers, so I'm gonna go over a few of the questions that we normally get. A big one is, where do all the calves come from? And that's an easy answer. Local dairies in the area. We purchase all of our calves from them. We had thought about getting into a cow-calf operation, but we are not set up for it, and we tried doing it. It just didn't work out the way that we would like. I mean, we love seeing those babies born here on the farm, but it just didn't work out. The local dairies have given us a great opportunity to be able to purchase all our calves locally, which is wonderful. We really appreciate that. Another big question that we have is, what do we do with all the cattle? Well, all the cattle that we have here ultimately get sold through the farm market. All of our beef is either sold as quarters and halves, or we will actually piece it out and sell it in our freezer up in the farm market. Both of those avenues have really worked out well for us, and it's caused us to have quite a few cattle here on the farm. Sadly, from what we've heard, a lot of the beef quality has gone down as of recent, so many people are looking to a more local, closer option, and that's brought us a lot of business. By selling the quarters and halves, by piecing it out, we moved quite a few cattle here from the farm, which is why we have so many. And this cattle operation has become such a large chunk of our income that it only makes sense to continue on with it. So I hope I answered a few of the questions. I know a big thing that a lot of the customers like is if they see the videos, they get to see what our cattle eat. They get to see the cattle every day, how they're raised, how they're taken care of. And it makes everyone a lot more comfortable when they're making a purchase as to how they're gonna feed their family. I know a lot of people look at this and they think this is something that would be hard for them to do, but I was raised this way, raising up these calves from a young age and then selling them as beef through the farm market. I've had a lot of time to rationalize why it's important for us. One, it's a big source of income. Two, we're able to give everyone in the area good food, something they can look forward to and something that they can feel is safe and that their family can enjoy without having to worry. A lot of people will see us feeding calves every day. They'll see us feeding the cattle and they just get so many questions. So I like to answer them occasionally. The next thing I wanted to show you was we actually put some plastic in front of our last greenhouse, greenhouse number 6. This greenhouse is where all our perennials are right now. We don't want these to get too warm yet, but we also don't want them to freeze and die because we're getting some beautiful growth here. So we had to move everything into the greenhouse because it was so cold last night. Thankfully, we have greenhouse number 6 because if we did not, we would have nowhere to put these giant wagons where we have all the plants on. It just saves us a lot of time. All the calves are doing well. It didn't get cold enough to bother them last night. So greenhouse number 5, or the cafeteria, that's all good, but we're gonna make our way into greenhouse number 4 and just see how everything's growing in here. It's nice to see that the flowers we have in this greenhouse are doing well, and the vegetable plants that we've transplanted and added to this greenhouse, they're doing great. We've now got our tasks that we work on daily all taken care of, the animals and checking on the greenhouses down around back. We do have to bag some potatoes, which Daniel just brought some up. We just recently washed these potatoes, and thankfully it was cool enough to keep them downstairs. But now we gotta move them inside and bag them. Who's that? Is that Callie with Aunt Sadie? Are you playing with Aunt Sadie? Yeah, now we're shy. What are you being shy for?
No!
Oh, she's worried I'm gonna take her away from her Aunt Sadie. Uh-oh. What's that smell?
It's horseradish.
Ooh. Is it strong?
Yeah, it was burning my eyes. I was wearing these glasses, but I'm done.
Do the
now.
glasses help?
Yeah.
When you're bagging up horseradish or making it, ooh, it can burn.
I'm not taking this out. You can put out some of the big red ones and some
We've been bagging up potatoes, but it's so dark in here, it's hard to get nice footage of this. So I was just giving you a few shots of what we've been doing. We just got our first bin emptied and we got 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 bags. Ooh, look at that. Daniel is showing off because he got one that was close to being perfect. But let me just say that does not happen all the time. Daniel's just showing off for the camera. And speaking of showing off for the camera, we got all the potatoes bagged up. This is for a big order that we'll be delivering tomorrow morning. Speaking of showing off, we got all 25 bags filled up. We are gonna be delivering these this afternoon. We normally deliver it tomorrow, but it's gonna be raining and it'll be a lot easier to deliver them today. Now that we're finished with bagging potatoes, we're gonna be heading up into the germination greenhouse to do some seeding. But before we do that, I'm heading up into the farmhouse to say hi to Grammy. Grammy doesn't wanna be recorded, but just say it loud enough. How are you feeling, Grammy?
Better now.
Okay, she's feeling better now. You look great.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Grammy seems to be doing really well. She's very appreciative of all the kind comments that you guys had left her. But she really needs to take it easy and take care of herself because we want that knee to heal up correctly so she can get back to doing what she wants to do. We don't make Grammy do anything. She does what she wants to do. She's got all her therapy that she's doing and all her exercises she's working on. But Grammy is doing good. Speaking of doing good, germination greenhouse, we are here. And Daniel, what are you working on seeding right now?
I'm working on seeding cole crops, but right now I'm doing cabbage, Blue Vantage.
Yeah, it looks like we've got cabbage, broccoli, kohlrabi, and then do we have some cauliflower? There's celery. Oh, they already got the cauliflower done while I was with Grammy. But yeah, let's get this jacket off and get hopped right into it. What'd you just do, cabbage?
2 cabbage.
All right, I got it in here. I think you need a few more seeds on the tray. What are you working on now, Daniel?
Planting a half a tray of red and a half a tray of Savoy, so I'll just set it up so I can plant the red. So I scrape down at my halfway point so that we know one side's what and one side's the other.
We don't sell and plant near as much of the red cabbage, Savoy cabbage, Chinese cabbage, so we plant a lot less of them, not only for ourselves, but for sales. They're fun and they're enjoyable to have in the garden. They're just not as popular. Half a tray of red cabbage and then half a tray of Savoy cabbage. We've got to keep track of everything. We've got to mark it down in the book. That way next year, when it comes time to plant again, we have something to reference off of. As you guys know, this is something we've done for a while. So we got plenty of reference just in this book alone. It goes all the way back to 2017. So that is a very long time ago. Not really, but I like to say it is. So we got all those years of information as to when we planted and when we did what. So we're gonna keep doing it because it's beneficial and it makes sure that we stay on track. A big recommendation I have for you or for anybody that is growing a garden or starting their own plants from seed keep track of this information, because if you don't keep track of this information, well, it's going to be harder for you to decide when you're going to be planting and when you're going to be seeding. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of seeding and planting. It also gives you a little peace of mind because you know you have plenty of time to get ready. Also, something important to do, keep track of what the weather was like when you were seeding, also when you were harvesting, so that you understand and you know if you ever face up against those conditions again, you can be prepared. I know that's something we always do. People ask for little tips and tricks of what we like to do, and that's one of the biggest ones. Keeping track of everything, keeping an extensive account of what you seeded, when you harvested, what the weather was like. Now, all those little variables can help you to become a better gardener or even a better farmer. That's just my tip for the day. Something that everybody needs to keep in mind, especially when they're seeding and transplanting.
I am figuring out how much to plant of what we want to plant. It's a little early for us to be seeding pepper seed right now, but we have customers that come in that want early peppers, so we're trying to seed just enough for the early customers. We don't want to have them too big because once they get root bound in the pack, it doesn't do as well for the customer. So we try to plant more often so we keep the plants healthier and they'll take off and grow sooner. It's not always easier to do it that way, but we found that it helps the customers out a lot because the plants do much better for them in their gardens.
Just one celery?
512.
One tray of celery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to come over and write everything in the book?
Oh, I might have to.
We gotta keep accurate notes here.
What does this smell like to you?
I don't know, it's very familiar though.
You don't get this, you're not a real vegetable farmer.
Let me smell it again. Is it dill?
No.
What is it?
It's basil.
Basil? How does that make me not a vegetable farmer with basil? Daniel's coming up with rules again. You can't even see any seeds in this tray. Did you actually do it?
No.
Or did you just act like you were doing it?
What?
What?
Can't hear you. Over here complaining.
512 seeds of basil. Really quickly, we've just gone through and planted some Brussels sprouts, kale, cauliflower. We've also got some cabbage, broccoli, and basil. Did I mention kohlrabi? We also got kohlrabi. Earlier on, it was like 90 degrees in here, and it's much more manageable now. We are sitting at 80 degrees. The cloudy weather is making it a little cooler, which is nice.
We got our cold crops seeded. Now we're moving on to peppers.
Daniel's acting like he's grouchy. Calm down.
No. Hold on, come back.
Something we have to do with every tray after we fill it, we take an empty tray on top and then push little indents into every hole. That way, every single plug will have the best opportunity for a seed to germinate in. If we don't have a little indent, then it could get washed off. The seed could move when we are watering them. And if we have it too deep, it'll take longer for the seed to germinate, which is not efficient for us. So we try and make sure we have everything just the right depth.
All right, next we're moving on to is jalapenos. Is that enough seeds? That? You're right, more. Perfect.
I couldn't get it done.
We've been flying through the varieties. Daniel's working on a few different half trays. Right here we have a half sweet cherry pepper, and then we also have a half of a snack pepper. Snack peppers are really cool. They're also called lunchbox peppers. We've moved a few trays off of the heated tables onto this middle section, which has allowed us to have a lot more room for these trays that we're seeding right now. It's been working out really, really good, and the sun's out, so it just got like 100 degrees in here. We've slowed down a little bit because we've been doing all half trays. You can see we've got 2 different seed packets on every single tray because we've been splitting them up. So like I mentioned, it's taken a little bit longer, but it's the best thing for us to do early on. We're not gonna be able to sell too many plants, so we just don't wanna have anything go to waste. So it's better to have a little on the less side because people can always come back later and pick up more plants. We're gonna have a bigger selection later on.
So we just did a half a early girl tomato, and now we're moving on to half a beefsteak tomato.
Don't you think they'd like to buy the whole tomato, Daniel?
You would think, but they don't.
The rest of these trays that we have here are all tomatoes. So we've got a lot of peppers seeded today, and we're gonna have a lot of tomatoes, and we got our cole crops. It's quite a bit, and we're excited about it. You know what you're doing?
I have no idea.
Make sure it's facing the right way.
What am I gonna do? Matthew just left. How am I gonna know what to do? Primo Red and Biltmore. Okay. Jet Star. Big Boy, Better Boy, Supersonic, Wheat 100, Yellow Pear.
So Dad just read out to me all the tomato varieties that we're working on next, because it is lunchtime, so we're gonna run down and eat. But we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 more varieties of tomatoes that we've got to seed on top of the 1, 2, 3, 4 that we've already done. So 24 varieties of tomatoes we're going to be seeding today. And we've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12 varieties of peppers, along with the different varieties of cauliflower and cole crops and cabbage and broccoli that we've done. All in all, that's a lot of seeding to do on any regular day. And the fact that we're getting all that done, it's really, really good. Even though it's a lot of varieties and it's a lot of seeding, it's just a small amount compared to what we'll get into later on. For now though, it's plenty. I know we're probably gonna sell out of all of it, but that's good. That is really good.
We won't seed our tomatoes until probably about the 10th of April. 5th to the 10th of April, we'll seed our tomatoes, because we seed them direct in the trays, and they only need about 4.5, 5 weeks, and they're ready to plant in the field. Our peppers will seed for us probably last week in March. Probably start seeding them, some of them next week.
Now, even though the last week of March is right around the corner, and you can always check the description of the videos to see when they were filmed, even just a week's time can make a big difference with a lot of crops. And as we've talked about all morning, we like to stay on schedule and we like to keep track of everything. It just takes away a lot of the headaches that you could have from falling behind or even forgetting when you're supposed to seed something. Look at that. We were having sandwiches for lunch. Good deal, I'm down. We just got finished with lunch. Dad is unloading a delivery from a semi, and then we're gonna head back up and do some more seeding. We're almost finished. All we have is those few varieties, and then I'm gonna be working here in the farm market. That's the plan. So after we got finished off with working in the farm market, we made our way home, and that's where I'm at right now. There's been a lot of exciting stuff going on the past few days. My cousin Timothy and his wife Autumn, if you remember Autumn, who worked in the greenhouse, they just had their baby, so that has been like a big deal for everybody. The baby's good, mama's good. So that makes us so happy. Congratulations, Timmy and Autumn. But now that we are home, we're getting ready to eat some dinner. Lauren is around here somewhere. She was feeding babies. I'm holding this one. He just got finished with some feeding time, but we're not gonna bother her if she's feeding babies. But that does mean this is where we're gonna end the video today. If you have not already, please don't forget to like the video. And if you're not subscribed, this would be a great time to do that. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.